Hello, beautiful people. Pat, you're not even a guest now. You're like you're co-owner of the channel. How are you, sweetie? How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing really well, thank you. It was so nice to wake up and see such great news, about Princess Catherine. I don't know if you heard of what's happened. I thought
Hmm.
we'd start with that, with something very positive for 2025 that the princess wanted to share with everybody, and she shared it on X.
Nice.
So I thought we'd share that. I don't know. I mean,
Great.
what do you think? You
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's great. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. This is a statement from Princess Catherine because the statement came directly from her. And it says that I wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you to the Royal Marsden for looking after me so well during the past year. My heartfelt thanks goes to all those who have quietly walked alongside William and me as we have navigated everything. We couldn't have asked for more. The care and advice we have received throughout my time as patient has been exceptional. In my new role as joint patron of the Royal Marsden, my hope is that by supporting groundbreaking research and clinical excellence, as well as promoting patient and family well-being, we might save many more lives and transform the experience of all those impacted by cancer. It is a relief to now be in remission. Yes, and I remain focused on recovery. As anyone who has experienced cancer diagnosis will know, it takes time to adjust to a new normal. I am, however, looking forward to a fulfilling year ahead. There is much to look forward to. Thank you to everyone for your continued support. See, and there you see her. This reminds me so much of Princess Diana.
Hmm.
It is
Yeah.
it is so uplifting to see that. I mean, what do you make of that, Pat?
I just think it speaks to her character and how authentic she is and how she really is like the people's princess, the new people's princess in a different way. I think there's just a different kind of aura around Princess Catherine. Catherine, Princess of Wales. So we see her in a way that her experiences are different and unique. And I like being able to see this kind of news come out, and especially to really take over the the things we're hearing about other royals. Like, I think this is the way you do that. You bring out the best first. This is the greatest thing that I think we can hear because she's in remission. It comes directly from her, from us, from her to us, the people. And it really sets a tone of camaraderie. We're all rooting for her and we're happy for her. And I just think she's so authentic and real as she can be given the special circumstances that she's in. But I'm really happy to see this. It's great news.
You know what I liked about it? That she made an announcement and she said, "I want space while I handle this." And then she wasn't making drama announcements every month, or my
Mhm.
chemotherapy is killing me, or nothing like
Mhm.
that. It was like, this is what's happening right now. I need to process it. She asked for space, and still she was trolled horribly. And now she waited until she got the go ahead from the doctor saying that she's in remission, in order
Mhm.
for her to thank the people, and go and draw attention to the hospital, because she became a patron. Her and William, I believe, they became patrons, because by them becoming patrons, then people feel inclined to donate to the
Mhm.
hospital to continue doing as she says, the clinical research. So this is how to use their influenced their platform in a powerful way, because it wasn't about her. She went there to thank people, to thank
Mhm.
patients, to talk to the patients, and because she knows what they've gone through. It is
Mhm.
such a different start, for her, and she's looking ahead, always a positive message.
Yeah.
So it is a very lovely start. And in the meantime, we have the other. former royals in the United States of America. You know, they're your
Mhm.
plague over there. Um,
Mhm.
and you know that Meghan Markle lost it. I mean, she's losing it because, of course, of what Justine Bateman said, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, she's completely
She's
losing it.
Yeah, apparently, and it's getting to be pretty bad actually. The backlash is pretty bad from what I understand. And what I don't get is why Megan felt the need to answer anything. Why didn't she take the high road and continue to do? This is the article from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle find Justine Bateman's claim offensive after being called disaster tourists.
Mhm. You know, it's so funny because I actually said in my video, she should release a statement. But I'm gonna tell you after we go through it, I'm gonna give you my opinion about
Okay.
why I said that.
Well, the family, well, used to love she, and the good, and I think the reason why she felt compelled is because Justine Bateman is twin sister to Jason Bateman. They're
Mhm.
they're twins, you know that, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Jason Bateman, it's a quasi A-lister in Hollywood. I mean, he's really,
Yeah.
really famous and well loved.
Yeah.
Um,
She's also, I mean, she's a behind the scenes uh a
she's a
person
producer.
now. Yeah,
She's a
she's the
powerhouse.
director. Yeah, she's in her own right as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A-lister in
But
terms
but
of
her brother, of course, is
filmmaking.
Jason Bateman, who's incredibly well connected,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know? So they say that it's offensive to the Family Ties alum labeled the couple disaster tourists as photos surfaced of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex distributing food and supplies to victims outside the Pasadena Convention Center. It's offensive to Meghan and Harry that anybody would think this is merely a photo opportunity, a source exclusively tells Page Six, which I believe translates to Meghan Markle. The pair live approximately 90 miles north of the city. It's not like it's their neighborhood, but
Right.
our source says Meghan was born and raised in Los Angeles, so this is and always will be home to her. I thought it was London, England, her new home. According
Mm.
to the insider, Markle 43 is not just a tourist, and her heart is completely broken for all the lives that have been lost and for those whose homes have been destroyed in these fires. Harry 40 and Meghan Markle invest a significant time and resources. They have donated money and essential items, right? And you can show them there.
Mhm.
Now, this is people have to be very clear that the reason why you get these pictures is because the press was notified and they were and I will show you a video that they were going around with their press person. They have also dedicated countless hours to volunteering long before the media even caught wind of their involvement, the source tells us. Reps for the Sussexes and Bateman did not immediately respond to Page Six requests for comment. Bateman slammed the couple on next Saturday, writing that they are no better than ambulance chasers. What do you make of that?
So, here's the thing. It, just really quickly, go back to the quote that she said.
Well,
Just
she's kind of saying here, what a repulsive photo op they achieved. They are touring the damage. Are they politicians now? She concluded they don't live here. They're tourists, disaster
mhm.
tourists,
Right.
Palisade.
That's what Justine said, but I'm talking about Megan, like her
Oh, she's
words.
offended. Oh, she's offended.
She,
It's
I
not,
mean,
you
right, there
remember,
was no
this
statement. There
isn't
was nothing
directly
more.
from her. It's an insider.
Okay. So let me just respond to that part. So when I spoke about she should respond, really, if you're going to respond or have something be given as a quote, I mean, all she's saying is, "Oh, I'm offended." You're just telling people how you feel. Well, personally, nobody cares how you feel. Really, nobody really cares. People look at you and they could care less about Meghan Markle's feelings. And that's just how narcissistic she is, that people will actually care about how she feels. If you're going to come out and be offended, then justify your being offended. Say something. Say it's not true. Say why you're doing it if it's legit. But she can't, because she knows what Justine is saying is true. She's using it as a photo op. She's chasing tragedies to give herself a photo op opportunity to help improve her image. And that's what it's about. So she can't say anything. And that tells you so much about the fact that she's just letting it get out that she's offended by it. And that doesn't even matter. It's so shallow to even let something like that get out, because we don't care. Try to stand up for yourself if you have a justification to say why what she said, why what Justine Bateman said is not true. But she can't say it because it is true. And I just find Meghan is very shallow in that, she'll never improve her image. Her image will always be in tatters, because her motives will always be those that are just not acceptable. It's just not okay to do what you're doing, and you'll never get where you're going to try to get. I saw an article where someone said, make or some news person said, "Oh, her show is going to be a blockbuster. It's going to go do very well." And I just thought, yeah, I think maybe the first episode, just like with the Spotify, she beat out Joe Rogan because people were just curious about it. But then after that, people are not going to watch for the reasons she wants people to watch, and it's just not going to do well. And I think she hopes that this will improve her image and she can go on and do other shows, whatever, because I know she's planning other things, but it's just not going to happen. She is going to continually fail, fail, fail.
Do you also think that she didn't need to travel 90 miles, almost 2 hours from her area, which is Montecito, which already is under warning, leave her children behind who are allegedly 3 and 5? Granted, she may have left them with Doria or whatever, but you and I were having this conversation yesterday. You know how swiftly the fires can turn.
Yeah.
So they drove 2 hours, leaving their children. Even if you leave it with Doria or whatever, you leave your children in an area that's already marked as possible danger, you know, just to
Yeah.
go for some photo ops when they could have donated just like Reese Witherspoon or Selena Gomez, 5 million each, or
Mhm.
1 million Paris Hilton, I think. Why not? And you know why it's always so shady about them? It's like we do this and we do that, but they are never specific about it. We know we donated 2 million. It's not like they pledge. Here's a check for $2 million from
Mhm.
Archwell Foundation to the relief. Do you feel that they needed to travel there instead of just donating money quietly like a lot of celebrities are doing? This is why
Yeah.
I think that
Mhm.
Justine is calling her out, because there was no need. Instead, they took away essential personnel, people who were needed on the ground, just to tour with them like ghouls and vultures, other people's burnt homes. I mean, do you
Mhm.
think that it was necessary for them to be there and risk leaving their children? Because
Yeah, no,
I'm asking
yeah.
this question, where were Archie and Lily? Because apparently they spent the whole day out while there was a real possibility. I think they were on yellow alert. And what if the roads had been blocked? If the fire turns quickly and the kids are trapped there, there was a no-fly zone because of all the planes that are flying, trying to put out the fires and stuff like that. And there was already damage to one of the Canadian bombers that were water. Somebody flew a drone and hit the wing of the plane, so they grounded the entire fleet until they made sure
Mm.
that there was nobody flying. So it's not like they can get their kids out by helicopter or get there on time. Why would they risk their kids? Were they really essential personnel that they needed to be there?
Well, that's the thing. That's why how disingenuous their whole even going there to look at the fires is, because they don't serve a greater purpose. I mean, they are parents supposedly, right? They should be with these children. That's where you're, especially because they're younger children. They're kids, they're babies. Why would you take yourself out going so far away when you're already under alert for your own home, and go out and visit these people? And then the other thing is they have no connection to this area. They're not politicians. They're not people who are speaking on behalf of or representing the people of this area. They have absolutely no connection to this area. I would think, if anything, why are you not in Sussex County? I guess it's a county in Great Britain.
Yeah, yeah,
That's that's where they're supposed to be, because they're the Duke and the Duchess of Sussex. You know, you're not the Duke and the Duchess of the Palisades, Pacific Palisades, and these other areas. You have no reason to be there. And that's why people were looking at them with the side eye all day long, because you should not even be there. It makes no sense.
and relieving their children. I would not, because people are going to say, but well, there are other celebrities like Jennifer Garner, but Jennifer Garner lives in that area. Her kids are grown up and she lives in that area. She's nearby her children. Harry
Right.
and Meghan
Yeah.
were at least 90 miles away from their children, while Montecito is on alert. This is
Yeah.
the type of parenting, you know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
parenting
Yeah.
skills that they do. Meghan saying she's first and foremost a mom, and then the first thing you do is you leave, unless they were driving around with the two kids and those things. But they didn't seem to be driving around with the two kids or anything like that, because why would you be carrying around your children to dangerous zones either? You know what I mean, Pat?
Right, yeah, exactly. It's taking advantage of a photo op to help your image, and that is how shallow and insignificant they are. This is why they're going to fail continually, because they'll never get the masses of people to rally behind them as goodwill ambassadors for anything. They are opportunists. And shame on Harry. He should know better. I mean, he looked miserable anyway. Just, I mean, I didn't feel like they had any kind of connection when they were there together. It seemed very like they were emotionally spaced out. They weren't
Disjointed. There was
together.
no connection. There was no emotional connection.
None.
Nothing, right?
None.
They didn't
Mm.
even look at each other. I mean, and Meghan Markle was running around like a headless chicken, but nobody was following her. Everybody stayed, no,
I
everybody
know.
stayed put with Harry. The mayor stayed put with Harry. And I think I have the name of the so-called victim, but until I'm absolutely sure, I will release it, because
Mm-hmm.
I've been tipped that it's actually a staff member of the Mayor
I'm the
Gordon.
mayor.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so this is why she was there, and this is why they were all leaving together. And I'm gonna actually show you that little video so we can comment about it,
Okay.
because I mean, this is Harry leaving, right? You can see the bodyguards, and there's so much going on in this little package here, Pat, because you can see that there's a man in a wheelchair. When you see them, the whole video, there's a man in a wheelchair that which Harry doesn't, who Harry doesn't even acknowledge. Compassion in action, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is Harry leaving. These are the bodyguards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here, there's the victim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the mayor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, there goes Meghan. There's nobody around Meghan. This is the mayor assistant. These two work for the mayor.
Okay.
And this is the man that Meghan Markle was hugging. I didn't see her hug any actual victims.
Victims,
She,
right.
she gave
Yeah.
hugs to the mayor's chief of staff or whatever, to the mayor's assistant, and to Jose Andres, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But look how Harry doesn't even look at where Meghan is. Okay.
Okay.
This is the member of their staff, I believe, the assistant or something. This is the camera crew that were there. Remember that this is the lady that was calling Meghan Princess Markle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the camera, the lady.
Yeah, remember that they interview Mayor Gordo. There's the mayor. There goes Meghan.
And that's when, yeah, he starts getting
And here's the
interviewed.
cameraman. This is their cameraman. You see that?
Oh, yeah, that's their cameraman. Yeah. Now, who's filming this? Do you know?
Somebody who was there, a person who was standing by there.
Oh, okay. And that's
You know,
their
so
cameraman from, is
that
it?
was them, that they're following them to get in footage and stuff. This is their cameraman. But the interesting part is, like, Harry goes by this man in here in a wheelchair. He doesn't even look at him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Look at Meghan. Look at Meghan. Just they're absolutely nobody's following her. Nobody. Now the guy is going, but because Harry's here. You see how far Harry's away from her?
Wow, yeah, he really has.
No, but do you see how far? And he's not even looking back, looking for
No,
her.
looking for her. He's just going about his business, not caring a thing in the world about what Megan's doing.
Yeah, exactly. And when he's told that the cameras are there, that's
Mhm.
when they hold hands.
Yeah, that's when they hold hands. Yeah. They're
But
not
isn't
fooling
it something?
anybody.
But isn't it something? I mean, that
Yeah.
that why did they need to be there? And we know the amount of time they were there because in Fox News 11, that woman that's there is saying,
Mhm.
we were alerted that they
Yep.
were
That
here.
they were gonna be there. That's exactly
No, no,
right.
we were alerted that they had just gotten here.
Yeah.
And therefore, and the whole live thing only lasts about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Then before that, there was the wife of Gavin Newsom distributing food. She stayed for about 3 to 4 minutes, and Megan got her pictures. There was zero interaction. Megan got her people to take pictures of her. This is why we see her with her hair, wearing no gloves, handling food. Harry standing behind like an idiot. Nobody knew who they were. The press was there, and the clips that we've shown show that uh, that it was about Newsom, the wife of, that she is there because they're trying to rebuild his image.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
They
what
are
do you make of
yeah.
that? What do you make of that, Pat? What
I
do you
think
make
it's
of this?
I think more people need to understand what's going on in terms of how they're trying to improve their image because they have had such negative headlines. They have such a negative reputation in Hollywood. Everything about them encompasses negativity because they're not there for genuine purposes. And I think speaking out about it and talking about it to make other people who don't follow them, helping them to see the nefarious ways of this couple because it really is a public service to let people know stay away from people who are trying to take advantage of people's suffering. I mean, that's exactly what it is. We saw someone taking advantage of anybody in a vulnerable position. It would be our duty to let people know. And I think this is no different. People need to not get caught up in how they're trying to use people to help their own image. It's horrible what they're doing because if they had any ounce of care in them, we would not have seen a pattern of abuse that they have done with their own families and within the royal family. So they don't really have ways about them that are really to care and take care of people and to support that. I mean, look at what they didn't donate. They try to say they're donating these things, but I think for someone in their position, there should be a check written. Stay your butt at home with your kids and stay out the way and let the people who are there to do the work do what they need to do. Nobody needs you there. All you do is bring added security. You bring your added cameras. You bring more there that should not even be there. You are creating drama out of a tragic situation. It's
Yeah,
not necessary for you to be there. You just bring more chaos to the situation.
yeah, and they, as I said, they took essential personnel who should have been organizing and doing more stuff. But I
Yeah.
also wanted to ask you this because I mean, when they say they donated, why can't they say the amount?
Yeah.
And
If you, yeah.
what
Yeah.
is really interesting, if you go to the World Central Kitchen, whatever, the one that Jose Andres, you will see
Mhm.
that it talks about Jennifer Gardner, but Harry and Meghan are not featured. Their presence was not featured and is not featured, at least in the past days that I saw in the World Central Kitchen or on Jose Andres and Chef Jose Andres's pages on X.
Yeah, you're right. That tells you a lot, doesn't it?
It sure does to
It
me
speaks
because
volumes.
yeah, 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 it sure does. And now with the postponing of the Netflix thing, what do you make of that, Pat?
The Netflix thing being canceled, I think very selfish because I think it's just like about her. It's like you're trying to cancel something because you think it's really about you, but it's not about you. I think there's actually a couple of things are going to still be airing with these fires. Jamie, no, what's his name? The two that are doing a movie together is going to be out on the 17th.
Oh, there's a bunch
Uh,
of stuff. I got all the shows
yeah.
that are coming up
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I mean, look at all the shows coming out. Like, so why are you special? Because it's about you, Megan. It's about you think people need to wait for you because this is not about the fires. It's about you trying to change your image. That's why you're out there taking these pictures. It's it doesn't make a difference when it's going to air. I think she wanted more time anyway before the fires were even an issue. She wanted to postpone the show because of all the negative backlash, and now she's just taking advantage of this tragedy to have it postponed, and not really postponing it because of the fires. She's postponing it because of herself. She wants more time to, I don't know, change things up. I don't know what you can change to make it better. This is what you wanted to do. How can you change that?
Yeah.
How is that going to be better?
I heard that it was Netflix who delayed the thing because they were actually also taken aback by the such horrible backlash. So they are using, so when she was begging them to do that,
Mm-hmm.
they decided, let's see, maybe. But I do know that she was advised not to, and that Harry didn't want to go. Harry hadn't seen her in days, and he didn't want to go. And it's clear by his body language standing around there that he tried to stay out of the way as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm.
that's what I perceived, because
Yeah.
I've seen him in other in royal engagements when he used to be a royal. You know how engaged he is. He's doing this, he's doing that. But
Yeah.
in this instance, he still had some of his royal training where he knew, like, you know what? I think this is a bad idea, but I'm here, I'm doing it, but I'm going
Mm.
to try to stay out of the. He wasn't even pretending to serve food. He was just standing behind Megan.
Right.
Um,
But wasn't he he had just come back from being in New York or something?
yeah,
Like he hadn't even
yes,
been
yeah.
in town.
No, he hadn't. They hadn't seen each other. They don't spend time together, and you can clearly see their interaction in those few minutes. And you can see, I just showed you guys them when Harry walked off. He didn't even look back for Meghan Markle. Meghan had to
Mm-hmm.
chase him, and the only reason why she goes and grab his hand is because she knows they're being filmed.
Mhm. Yeah, so
You know,
he's tapped out, man. He's tapped out of this relationship. I mean, their reputations are smeared so badly. I mean, how do you even make up for that now? How do you get out of this rut when you are so poorly received by the people in the industry that you're relying on to make your living, you know?
the
Like
other thing
it
that's
just
very
is bad.
interesting, the only thing that's very interesting, Pat, is why such a specific date, March 4th? Because what if the fires are still ongoing? What if the fires are still
Mm.
ongoing? It's never mind the fires are still ongoing. People will have to rebuild. I mean, we're going now. You know what I mean? People are going to have to
Yeah.
rebuild. So why March 4th? It's
That's
almost
interesting. Yeah, why March 4th? Let's see what the other royals are doing.
yeah, because she wants to postpone it for 2 months because apparently, and from what I understand, she's gonna now take out Doria. And Netflix is just saying, okay, they're giving her enough rope to hang herself with, because I think that Netflix, their contract is up on March. And
Mhm.
if I think that they were worried that if I mean, they know the show is going to do poorly given the reviews and the negative comments, right?
Mhm.
Um, uh, but I think that they're going to say to her, okay, we're going to postpone it because now she's going to re-edit it. And apparently, she's going to include a little dedication to the people, the victims of the fires. She's going around recording people, and it's going to
Mm.
be like a heartfelt, like she's going to give like a little announcement before the first
Are you
episode airs.
Wait a minute. So
These are the
you
things
know
that are
this.
being said. These are the things that are being said, that she's going around because before the first episode air, she's going to do a little tribute to all the fallen and everything, and how she's been hugging people, and how hugs are helping, because it's like a tribute. I don't know if you've seen the wording, because it's now a tribute to Southern California.
Oh no. Can you show us that? Like what?
Right now, yeah, I'll show
Oh,
it.
you're at it. Okay.
I'll show it here
Yeah,
when
because okay, yeah.
yeah.
Hold on.
So they're giving her time to edit, but it's interesting that they waited 2 months, because that's the time that you need to re-edit stuff. And I
Yeah.
think that not only Megan, but Netflix They're both using it to see how
Mhm.
they can salvage this disaster because Meghan knows that this is her last hooray. She's been shopping around on other networks and nobody wants to hire her because she has a reputation for being absolutely horrible.
Mhm.
So, I mean, this is her last chance. So, and Netflix were taken aback by that. So, you worked as an actress and in that industry. I mean, 2 months almost.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, no, I mean, her reputation is so shot. Like, it's also an insurance issue because I think that I mean, it will cost the studios or anyone that works with her more money because of her difficult behavior. Like that right there speaks volumes. When people hear that you're difficult to work with, they see money going out the window because you can cost studios a lot of money when you are not cooperative and you're difficult to work with. How do you overcome the fact that you are difficult to work with? Certainly, no amount of talking to victims of a fire is going to help yourself be more liked by the studio people because they already know your reputation. It's in vain that she's doing all of this, but it tells you, it's a good insight into her mindset right now, that she knows she's on the losing end, because once people see who you are, it's over. They know you don't come with good credentials. And also the people that have worked with her, you look at people like Tyler Perry, and
Who's not following her on
who's
Instagram?
that's what I was going to say, he's not even following her on Instagram. This is supposed to be your friend, that's a
Well,
movie maker.
the godfather to her daughter.
Yes, okay, if that person's not supporting you, forget it. Girl, it is a wrap. It is done, it's over. Okay.
And I want to talking about Instagram. This is a perfect segue into this, Pat, because
Hmm.
we talked about it. This is a new statement the Archwell Foundation has put out, fact checking Meta. It doesn't matter whether your views are left, right, or somewhere in between. The latest news from Meta about changes to their policies directly undermines free speech. This should deeply concern us all. That is, Megan is trying to sound British because
Hmm.
that's how British people speak.
Hmm.
Because, the Americans are all of us, but
Right,
the British
yeah.
say us all. Contrary to the company's talking points, allowing more abuse and normalizing hate speech serves to silence speech and expression, not foster it. In an already confusing and in many instances intentionally disruptive information environment, Meta has shown their words and commitments have very little meaning or integrity. As they announced these changes, undoubtedly responded to political winds. They once again abandoned public safety in favor of profit, chaos, and control. The company's decision to roll back protection is so far away from its stated values and commitments to its users, including the parents and families calling for change around the globe using children. This
Mhm.
is now deeply deceptive. That is now deeply deceptive. Look who's talking. Millions of people are using Meta's platform in the United States. Hundreds of millions more are using them globally. Many use the platform to spread joy, build community, and share empowering information. Unfortunately, Meta recent decisions go directly against its stated mission to build human connection and instead prioritize those using the platforms to spread hate, lies, and division at the expense of everyone else. Given the profound global impact Meta's decision have on the world, of which many are still recovering from or actively suffering from, the politics of one country should never determine whether freedom of expression and civil and human rights are protected in the online spaces, so clearly shaping or destroying democracy. So this is one point that before we move into this, they're talking about that politics of one country should never determine whether freedom of expression and civil human rights are protected in the online spaces, so clearly shaping or destroying democracy. So that is what he's saying. Everybody, you may not agree with what I'm saying, but I'm allowed to say it.
Mhm.
She's condemning that. Online spaces must be designed with public safety and well being at their core, resilient against political pressures and lapses in corporate leadership. This latest move from Meta is an example of a social media company fully aware of their power to shape public discourse, disregarding any responsibility to ensure that power is not abused and instead allowing either ego or profit, likely both, to guide decisions that affect billions. We are particularly alarmed, blah 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 blah. I mean, this is Meghan who wrote this because this is way too long. And then she goes that we urge Arch will urge we urge Meta to reconsider and reinstate policies to protect all users. We also call on leaders across industries to uphold their commitments to integrity and public safety in online spaces. And we applaud leaders who refuse to kowtow to bullying. In response to these harmful, we at the Archwell Foundation remain committed to promoting accountability, safeguarding information integrity, and protecting all communities in the digital age. We hope and expect those enabling Meta's profits, like advertisers and shareholders, to do the same. Does this mean that Meghan is going to remove her Instagram account in protest?
Right, because they're owned by Meta, Facebook, right? So I mean, that's who she's talking to, and yet here she goes, just starting to use the platform, right? So I find it very interesting. I think it's just her speaking to not wanting people to have a voice because she knows how much people check her and make her accountable. And I don't really see people doing a lot of hate outside of people
Calling her out.
like her fans are the ones that do the really despicable things. If she's going to call anybody out, why are you not calling out your Sussex Squad people that support you? Because they're the ones that do these really nasty, violent things, when they come out in her support of her. So she's upset that people will be able to still have their voices to criticize her and check her to be accountable, right? That's
Isn't
what
it
I think.
amazing that they're trying to tell the owner of his company how to run it? When Mark
Exactly.
Zuckerberg has just come out and said that the Biden, and this is not being political, this is the new, you saw his
Interview with
testimony,
Junk. Yeah.
that the Biden administration, he went on Joe Rogan, would call and basically tell him to ban, that they could, to yell, to scream at them, that they couldn't do this, to politically, to use Meta as a political animal, basically, to
Mm-hmm.
censorship. So it wasn't, they called it fact checking, but it wasn't fact checking, it was censoring.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of or founder, whatever that space, has said that they were bullied into censoring people.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't do it. Good for
So this
him.
is, I'm going to ask you this, Pat, because this is, I'm very curious about this. She says that, that the royal family were racist, the royal family were horrible, that they're colonization 2.0, that they stand for everything evil, that that they don't empower people, that they take people's voices, and she uses their title. Now she is calling Meta, who owns Instagram, evil, a terrible, horrible space where nobody should be because now it's dangerous. Do you think she'll delete her account?
No, because she's a hypocrite. She's not going to delete her account. She's just going to complain and shout, and Harry's going to do his court case and go more in debt. And I don't know really how that's going to end up, but she is not going to delete her account. No way. She is in it to make money. She is throwing a tantrum right now, and they just are not, they're not good people when it comes to being authentic. They've really shown themselves to not be authentic people and to do things for the reasons that are right, the right reasons. They're doing it for themselves. Because I think Meghan has a problem with how she gets so much um, backlash on the things that she
Well,
does.
the people get receipts on her lies. That's what I think.
That's
That's the same
right.
thing that with Facebook now, not censoring. She's running out of another platform that used to protect her lies. That's the way I look at it. And now that other platform, which was huge, Instagram, she gets back to Instagram, and she felt that the Bidens are running, and it's Mark Zuckerberg, who's always known for censorship, but now he's saying, forget that. I'm not going to
Hmm.
be censoring. And do you think she doesn't get that that she gets that by her issuing that huge statement while still remaining on Instagram makes her look like a hypocrite? Do you think that she understands that? It's like her using the royal title by calling the institution
I mean,
that.
she has to, but she doesn't care. That's the whole point. She doesn't care. It's all about what she wants to do. She can contradict herself. She can be a hypocrite. She can blatantly lie, which we know she does. And people just have to what? Overlook it. She wants to be the bully calling the shots, telling people what to do. And we, no. Check yourself, woman. No, no one is going to adhere to anything. This is why you will never get anywhere in Hollywood the way you are trying to, because people see you coming a mile away trying to tell them what to do. I mean, how dare she even try to put out something to make this statement? I think there's going to be a new coming for them, especially once Trump is in office. I think with some things that have been said, there was a story that came out about, I think Trump wanting, or her being concerned about something that Trump was going to be doing. I think they're trying to put checks on things because they know the administration that was supporting them is no longer going to be in place. And so they're trying to put these safeguards up to protect them, because now it's game over for them and they're panicking.
And Gavin Newsom, I think Gavin Newsom is not going to be around anymore. Who
Oh yeah,
protected
he's
them
out.
hugely.
Oh yeah. Mhm. Yeah,
You know, having Gavin Newsom come out on a speech and say that Archwell was not delinquent. I mean, so that is well and truly gone. But the thing is that I really do wonder whether she understands that by issuing a statement and not removing her account
Mhm.
makes her look bad. I really do wonder whether she's that dumb, because okay, I get what you say that, oh, she does what she wants, but at the same time, this is exactly why people see her as a hypocrite, as a liar, as like if you're Pat,
Yeah.
if I
Mhm.
don't if I find out that product is exploiting children, I don't buy that product.
Right,
I don't use
exactly.
that product.
Mhm. That's
So no,
exactly the point. Right.
so she urges, instead of saying, I am going to quit my Instagram account in protest. Why did she say
Mhm.
that? In protest. And I encourage others to do the same, because until changes are made, or why don't you think that because does she know that she has no influence or anything like that? What do you think?
I think she knows it won't mean anything to anybody, and then she's lost out on her money-making potential. That's why, because she knows she's not gonna get the things that she needs, like the contract she needs to make the money from the. I think she's gotta try, and if she gets rid of it, then where's her chance then? You see, like, she has to almost do it because that's the way she's going to be able to make money. But I don't see it happening. I think she's going to run into a wall with anybody that she ends up trying to get um, contracts with, because of her reputation and all the people that come out and really, I mean, the people, us, the people come out and we really put up a hand to no, stop, wait a minute, no, we're not supporting you. And I think she's going to keep trying, and she can't get rid of her Instagram because that's the only way she can really do it. But it is, I think, something that people should call her out on if she's going to come out and speak out against it. And the article that I was mentioning or talking about, there was an article that came out by Jack Royston, no less, but he says that Donald Trump may target Harry and Meghan after this statement. That's what he's saying. But I mean, I just think they need to just be quiet. They have no power. They have no influence. There's nothing they can do that's going to warrant any change, because behind their voices, they don't have the support needed to make anything happen. But they can be targeted as individuals. I mean, especially Meghan using a title in America, which she's not allowed to, right? She's not allowed to use a title in America because of there is some kind of law around that,
Oh,
if
no,
I'm not
she can use it.
mistaken.
She can use it. Well, I've shown that because I did a video about it with the IRS. The
So
IRS said that for their filings, they cannot use royal titles. The Article 13 states that it's for government employees or in government positions, but also for
mhm.
people who are in board of directors of private companies and trusts, and they are the directors on the board of directors of Archwell Foundation. So, and
Yeah.
they're used the title like Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So, according to that particular, and this is, I did a video about it. I think I sent you the receipts and stuff that I got the email. I did a whole video where I read what the IRS answered me, saying that
Mhm.
it's for government people who work for the government, and but also for people who are in positions of trust of employment, such as board of directors. So in this case, it would apply to them because I was questioning why there were Meghan Markle first wasn't the board of directors, you know,
Mhm.
and two, they're using Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So I
Yeah.
wrote to the
Mhm.
IRS and they answer that. So I questioned them and I asked them, so why did you allow it? Because if you go to the IRS page, you will see that the 2022, because the 2023 still has not, or the 2024 is still not up on their website, they allowed her to use Duke and Duchess because according to the IRS rules, they have to use the names that they have in their social security card.
See, and that's the thing. They're not complying with the laws around that. That's clearly abuse, right? Of
Yeah, but
the
they were allowed to get away with it because of the Biden administration, and this is not me making it political, but
it,
it is a fact,
yeah.
you
So
know?
that's the thing. They're panicking because they're no longer going to be protected by the Biden administration.
And I'm gonna ask you a couple just this is one of the things that Meghan, when she got married, Meghan Markle to fight for feminism, new Duchess of Sussex given palace blessing to champion women's rights. So, I
She
mean,
okay.
this is the newlywed Duchess of Sussex has been given the blessing of the palace to use her position to fight for feminism as she plans her life as the newest member of the royal family. Okay, so the palace was all around. I mean, they even quote her from from a young age. The Duchess had a keen awareness of social issues and actively participated in charitable work. Aged 11, she successfully campaigned for a company to alter the television advert that had used sexist language to sell washing up liquid. So the palace was behind her, using the platform for whatever the hell she wanted, and yet
Mhm.
she's fighting. She fought to get women out of the kitchen, and she's back and won.
You know, that just tells you they're on plan C. Because plan A didn't work out, plan B didn't work out. They're on plan C right now. No, because she, I think, thought her life in America was going to be completely different than what it is now. She just knew she was going to have a different setup with these titles. And I think there were things that the royal family didn't bow down to. And, now they've got to try to scramble to make things work. This is why everything is just chaotic. There's nothing that is aligned with them having the same purpose, moving forward, doing things that are falling in place. Nothing is falling in place. Nothing is going to be come off in a way that is going to make them successful. It's going to be an extremely heavy lift for them to make this work in the States. I think they're in a world of hurt with everything that they're trying to do because it's not it's in a disarray. It's chaotic. It doesn't seem well thought out and planned. It doesn't
And
seem that
Harry and
way.
Meghan clearly don't seem to be in the same wavelength anymore. They don't seem to be
No.
salt and pepper. They seem like oil and
No. Yeah.
vinegar. And one interesting thing, 2 months is a long time to air that show.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a long time.
Do you think they will air it, or do you think this is a way for Netflix? Because apparently it was Netflix's decision, it wasn't hers. Do you think that they will air it? Do you
I
think,
think I think it may
because
not
she
even see
plans
the
more
light.
visits. She plans more visits to more sites, and I think that the reason why she's angry with Justine Bateman, because she kind of ruined that, and now Megyn Kelly, did you see Megyn Kelly?
Yeah, she ripped her a new one, right?
Swearing in air. And then Link Lauren, that guy, I love him to bits, it's like, I mean, and it's not only Justine Bateman, it's a lot of people that are coming and calling them out.
Well, a lot of people I think in Hollywood don't have the courage to do it, but trust me, Hollywood is ragging on these two for
Also,
sure.
I
They
think that
see it.
I think they're also concentrating right now on the fires, not on how Meghan feels hurt about Justine Bateman calling her for what she really is.
Yeah, they've written her off. They're like, because think about it. Why wouldn't people be standing behind her and vouching for her if they really, if she really had the support? You know, if you see a friend of yours get attacked, someone says something negative about you in the press, you know, if you're someone that believes in them and thinks that they're doing great things, you would come out and speak for it and say, you know, they're doing that because they really care. And you know, they would come out and say something that would validate what Meghan and Harry were doing. You don't hear that. You don't
Also,
hear.
because it's like, you know what? I also think because people, she's not that big news as she thinks she is. And when people,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, page 6 made it like front news. Meghan Markle is offended. Her feelings are hurt. It's like your house is burning and you're running out of there, and then they want you to stop and listen that Meghan Markle's feelings are hurt.
Right, exactly. And that means nothing because people don't care about your stupid feelings.
No, but it's like, again, she's more important. Her feelings are more important than the entire state of California burning down.
Exactly. That's why she only made that known, her feelings, you know, because do you think she really cares? She should have redirected about the people. You know, you know, this is about the people losing their homes. It's not about
Their
me.
lives.
You know, it's about their lives, and it's not about, you know, me coming out here to help out. I'm here to really do, like, I would stand up for myself if someone did that and make it about the people.
Well, you wouldn't
But
be there to begin with, I believe.
well,
You'd
I
stay in your
wouldn't, but I'm
area.
saying for her that, I mean, that's how you could tell a genuine person, you know, how they react to something like this, because you would be so offended you'd have to say something. But in her shallow self, all she could say is how she feel. Let me care about your
And
stupid
it should be in the
feelings.
news to let them know that she's offended. And I
No.
wanted to share just one last thing here because I thought you'd be, where do you think this picture was taken? That's
California?
Gloria and Meghan.
Okay. California? Where?
Rwanda. Here
Wait a
she
minute. I
poses
can't
with
see.
her
That's
mother.
really small, girl. I got my
She
glasses
says,
on.
here she poses with her mother Doria on a trip to Rwanda.
What? That's a malarkey. That can't be true.
It's there, Pat.
What in the world? You're not going. No, I don't believe that. There is no. Why? What they doing in Rwanda?
Here, can you read it better?
Here she poses with her mother Doria on a trip to Rwanda. Girl, you better stop your lying.
This was posted. This is the Sun on November 2017 when she was selling her image as a Black woman. This is why. And I did a video where I talked to this. Remember, Pat, I did a video where I talked to this lady who does heritage. And she said that,
Uh-huh.
and I went all the way as far as her, the first, they come from the area of Rwanda.
Yeah.
This is, and then she went to Rwanda in January because initially she was selling herself as being from Rwanda. This is 2017, November 27, 2017, when the engagement announcement was made.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is the Royal Road. Take a look back at Meghan Markle's childhood with these vintage family snaps. She didn't post Nigeria.
No, she did not.
It's a trip that Doria made with her to Rwanda, which turns out it's false.
Of course. Of course. She never talked about going to Rwanda with her mother when she was a baby. What in the world? You think you just gonna put some words under a picture? We're gonna be like, oh, you went to Rwanda, girl.
But did you see
uh-uh.
she has told so many lies, Pat? You see, this is why she doesn't want the fact check. I mean, if anybody should be scared of fact checking, it's Rachel, Meghan Markle, and Harry
Yeah.
Mountbatten, Harry
Because they're gonna
Harkle.
be getting check. No, they
Yeah,
need somebody to tell them, stop your lying, girl. Just stop. It's over.
I will send you this article so you can do a whole video on it.
Yeah, send it to me.
You didn't know this, right?
I did not know that. No, I did not.
Yeah, 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 there you go. Well, thanks for coming, and thanks, Pat, again for such a wonderful interview. Well, so
Mhm.
do you think we're gonna leave it with what is your prediction? Will this cooking show ever see the light of day?
I'm going to say no.
Ooh. Do you think we're gonna see more walkabouts with Harry and Meghan during this tragedy, or do you think that it's gonna be Doria and Meghan, or just Meghan, or no walkabouts with Meghan?
I think she gonna keep herself out there. She gonna keep trying. That girl is relentless. She's like a gnat. She just keeps coming around and like, oh my goodness, there she is again. Like she's gonna be there. Yeah.
And Harry, do you think Harry's gonna go with her?
I think he may not want to do it as much because I think he's embarrassed. He knows it's over. He needs to go try to just go take a trip somewhere. He
Mm,
know he's going to be in the UK for his trial thing with the
yes. So I think he's gonna use as an excuse. Well, but Meghan is
yeah,
gonna be running around like a crazy headless
yeah,
chicken in California, causing even
yeah,
more harm to people. But it's interesting how they were willing to leave their children,
yeah.
very
That
young
speaks
children,
volumes.
to just
Mhm.
go. This is if there's anything for the Children Protective Services,
Mhm.
2 parents. It wasn't even one that they left one parent behind. Like, "Okay, you go and I'll stay with the kids." No.
Yeah, yeah.
Both parents drove 90 miles at least, spent the whole day away from 2 of their small children during raging fires that could change in a second.
Yeah, yep. Mhm. That's very careless of them to do, especially with little kids at home. Mhm.
And you don't think she's gonna delete her Instagram in protest for because, Meta suddenly turned a violent.
Mm-mm. No, she's not gonna delete it. She's too superficial for that. She's gonna keep moving with that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Mhm. That's what I
Well,
think.
thank you so very much, Pat, and please go subscribe to Pat's channel. Thank you so very much for your insights as usual, and thank you
Mhm.
to the subscribers always for you guys are our community, our subscribers always for supporting us. So please go support Pat. She has a charity, and I'm gonna leave the link at the bottom of the video description so you can show some support to her charity. She works in education field for kids with unfortunate background that are not as fortunate, kind of financially stable, or at risk to
Mhm.
help them get an education. So please support her and also buy her book, which I will leave the link there as well.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Paula M. Thank you.
Bye, sweetie.
All right, see you. Bye.